Okay, welcome to the first podcast of the first season of the First and 35 podcast, along with your co-host Ben Jordan and our current tech whiz Smokey Graham sitting across the table from me. I'm Gus Cousins. Well, it's been a while getting here. Now we're finally working. That's good. So that's positive.
And let's get right into it. So we'll start with first some baseball news. So from Toronto, big Jays fans, and just got news that Grandal reps and the Jays were talking. Just wanted to get your thoughts on possible landing spots for Grandal.
They talk to everyone. I think he's going to end up in Texas.
I had five
Everyone
potential
talks to
landing
everyone
spots.
now.
I think I like Grandal in the Angels. I think, big landers, like they want to get Cole, they want to get other guys, sort of like a Phillies scenario from last year, sort of bring in a bunch of new guys, and a catcher just slides along, sort of like Real Muto.
Don't diss Josh Thole, who's raking in AAA last year.
Other landing
diss Josh
spots I
Thole.
like, back to Milwaukee and to the Reds.
The Reds? Oh, I thought they got Barnhart, though. They got Barnhart, so that's something.
And I also like the Braves, losing out on McCann.
They
sort
got
of bringing in an
Flowers.
older
They're
guy.
not signing. Flowers is 36. They're not going to sign
Grandal's
Grandal.
better.
Flowers is signed. So.
Adam, along with the addition of Will Smith today. I like some new Braves additions
Will
this
Smith
year.
was good, eh? That was good. 3 years, $39 million. That was good.
Yeah, 13 per.
With an option.
That's
With
right.
an option.
That's right.
I think I predicted that too, eh? I'm pretty good. This whole baseball thing. 3 for 39. Yeah, that's pretty good. Four free agents. 4 legitimate free agents signed, and they've all went to the Braves.
Yeah.
No one else done
Markakis,
anything.
Bringing back, what's his face? O'Day.
O'Day, Markakis, and now Will Smith.
And
everyone else.
Grandal, good little haul for the Braves. Moving on to qualifying offers finished today. Abreu and Odorizzi tendering in.
Goddamn Odorizzi.
One of the Jays targets. And
I mean, I don't claim to be a genius or anything, but I would not take a 1-year deal. I don't care how much it is.
I think
No
Abreu
one likes
could
the
have
White
tested
Sox,
the market.
and they suck.
Yeah, I think Abreu could have tested the market. He could have made.
Abreu's 32. What's he going to
bigger
do? Come out at
splash.
33 and think he's going to get like $40 million? No, he's
No
not.
one wants him to. Premier position.
It's first base. A lot of
He
first basemen.
seems to be getting older every year. He still seems young in my mind, like he just came.
He's like the same age as Justin Smoke. Did you know that? They're both 32.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Thoughts on Padres meeting with Mad Bum?
I don't like it. Sign Strasburg or don't sign Strasburg. I don't like Mad Bum at all.
Yeah, I think he's slowing
Overrated
down.
to hell.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a lefty. Oh, he
Super
kind of throws
inflated
hard.
stats ever since their last postseason
Oh
run.
my god, he won some World Series. Yeah. No. Not very good, I don't think.
And
overpaid to hell as well, probably. It doesn't matter. The Yankees sign him, whoever signs him, Cole's going to be overpaid, I think, even though he's not like the best
I think
pitcher in
all
the
the
league.
top dogs are getting overpaid, especially Strasburg.
I think Donaldson's going to get overpaid.
I think Strasburg's going to get thrown into a situation where the last 3 years of his contract is going to be top worst sports contracts.
I think it's going to be boring. I think Strasburg's going back to the Nats. And
We'll see.
I think Rendon's going back to the Nats as well.
I was just about to say the Dodgers keep saying Rendon's still on their trade rate or on their radar. If that goes through, what do you think they're gonna do with Turner?
Probably keep him. I think they
And
keep him.
use him where? Throw him to second base or throw him on
anywhere.
the bench?
I don't know. I don't run the team. I think
I
you
don't
keep
think
him.
you
I
can.
think you
I don't
keep
think
who's
you can
good.
bench bat Turner after what he's
I
done
don't
the
think
last few
Turner
years.
would want to bench bat.
I agree.
I don't think
he'd
he'd
leave.
want to be on the bench regardless.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It'd be interesting. I think Cole's going to end up in LA. I think a lot of these guys are going to pick boring places. I think Donaldson's going to end up in Texas because that's where they're trying to get him. I think I can see him in Texas. I don't know anybody else who's really... Well, obviously everyone wants him, but I don't know anyone who would pay for that. Like, good teams
Yeah.
all have third basemen. It's not
Yeah.
like he's coming back to Toronto.
That's right.
We got Fat Boy down there at third who hits home runs, so he's not coming back here. Anyways, so that's that. Boring free agents. San Francisco got a new GM.
That's right.
Hey?
Gabe Kapler.
Yeah. Well, that's the manager. Their GM was Scott Harris. They signed 2 guys in 2 days, and neither was a player. They got a new GM and a new manager.
not a good start.
One day
That's
after
not a
becoming a
good
GM,
start.
they signed Gabe Kapler. That's
Not
either
a
going to
good
ruin the
start.
organization completely, or they're going to win 95 games and make the playoffs. There's no in between.
They need to sign a top arm, or else they're not going anywhere.
Kapler needs to get fired. Is what he has to do. If you pick an ex-player and you throw him in as manager, thinking they know what they're doing and they don't. Council, you got lucky in Milwaukee. Kapler, no, you're not.
What about Madden?
Such a terrible manager.
What about Madden?
Was he an ex-player?
I think
Oh, he's old.
everyone's always played. Whether
Isn't
it was
he already
pro
in
or not.
LA?
Yeah, he's
He's already,
Angels.
well, LA is LA. Everyone wants to go and live in LA. But I don't know. I think signing an ex-player as a manager is just a terrible idea. Anyways, if you haven't noticed, there's not a whole lot going on in the MLB, so we're getting pretty thin here on content. Some new minor league team names, because they do that sort of thing every year. I think my favorite is probably the Rocket City Trash Pandas. I think that's a great goddamn name, if I do say so.
Gonna be a ticket holder.
And the New Orleans Baby Cakes. Both of those, I think they're both in the Marlins system, actually.
The baby
The Marlins
cakes for sure.
suck, but they come up with great minor league names, and I want to know how they do it. We're stuck with the Bisons and the Fisher Cats. The most creative thing we've got is the Lugnuts.
Anyway,
That's,
moving on to some hockey.
Where do you want to
news.
go next? The NHL? That gong
right.
show of a league?
Crosby out 6 weeks.
Hernia.
I think if one thing benefits from that, it's the Leafs backup goalie on Saturday night.
Everyone loves a good hernia surgery. Am I right? I think I'm right. Malkin sucked too. That hasn't helped. Malkin had his 2 goals so far this season, eh? There's
He just
something
came
crazy
back.
like
he
that.
was hurt as well.
Yeah, but still,
They've
who
had
else is
everyone
on
hurt.
that team? I don't even know.
They have Letang out right now along with Crosby. Murray's always hurt. Malkin's always hurt. They just got Galchenyuk back from injury.
You know who's happy?
Their one bright spot is Brian Rust.
Is Phil the Thrill. Gets traded to Arizona,
Yeah, to get
and
him
now
out of
they're
there.
now they're what,
Second
20
in the
games in?
Pacific.
They're in a playoff spot.
26 points.
10 wins in Arizona.
Crazy.
They're gonna make the
Amazing
playoffs, eh?
goaltending.
Amazing goaltending. Darcy Kemper, top 5 in the league. But that's just me. Antti Ranta.
Good
Also
backup.
good.
Top 5 backup
Good
in the league.
backup. Speaking of backups, eh? God, the Leafs suck.
Leafs don't have one.
You know who they should have got is Eric Comrie.
Eric Comrie would have been a nice addition. Someone who stops the odd puck or two.
Someone whose name isn't Michael Hutchinson or Kaskasuo
Or Garrett Sparks.
or Garrett. Well, he's long gone.
That
now,
one's
but
aged. So let's move on to today's episode of Menace and Mirage. First shot, Islanders dominance.
Do I think they're going to be good? Yeah, I think they're going to be good. I think anybody that has a defense is going to be good, and I think they got a defense. I think Pulak is, I like his name, one, and I think he's going to be really good. I honestly couldn't tell you another defenseman, but they looked pretty damn good yesterday against the Leafs.
Habs offense.
I hate the Habs. They're going nowhere.
Oilers start.
No, because they got 2 players and nobody else.
Sharks issues. Do they continue?
Yeah, because Martin Jones is terrible, and is Aaron Dell still on the team?
Yeah.
Aaron Dell is garbage.
I'm surprised Aaron Dell hasn't spoken up to get himself out of there. Because he's
better
better than he is. But
He's a bad backup.
Well, he only sees the
Remember they
net
had Alex
once a week
Stalock?
max.
Alex Stalock was good.
Seeing the net once a week kills your confidence.
Well, it's like everyone.
Tampa
Every
Bay
backup
struggles.
goalie. Who?
Tampa Bay's early struggles.
Oh, they're going to make the playoffs. They're going to get
I think they're
98
bouncing back.
points
They
and
have-
just lose in the first round again.
Yeah, they have man games in hand and
I enjoy watching them suffer.
tons of road games under their belt.
I don't know how to follow them.
Thoughts on Flyers in the third in the Metro bumping out Penguins and Hurricanes?
I don't know. I don't know about the Flyers.
I don't know if that holds up.
I don't know. I know nothing about the Flyers.
I think they're too young. I think they need to
I think
they need to go through a season of losing a playoff spot in the last week of the season to kick them in the ass and jumpstart them.
I think Kevin Hayes is a great addition to the team.
I think Kevin Hayes is completely overpaid, worst contract in the NHL, and isn't producing in a top 6 role.
Okay, well, I mean, there's this crazy guy named William Nylander who sat out half a season and got paid $6.9 million. So that's
Crazy guy who has double the amount of points as Kevin Hayes, making less money.
if you say so.
I do say
Do
so.
will the Flyers make the playoffs? I think so. I think they're gonna be sneaky good.
I think Carter Hart needs to step his game up, and once he does, I think they'll be fine. Vegas' struggles, do they continue?
Anyways. No, because they have William Karlsson, and
Yeah, I think Fleury saves them.
he is thirsty.
Are the
He is a
Coyotes
special-
legit?
Yeah, I've already said that. They're making the
Coyotes
playoffs.
legit.
Yeah. Oh,
We-
yeah. I love that team. Kessel, Stepan,
Keller, Schmaltz,
Clayton Keller, and Nick Schmaltz.
and
That's a good...
Connor Garland.
And Connor Garland.
Keep your head up.
Headman.
Keep your head up.
Headman. He's... Oh, Jesus Christ. He had a bunch of goals recently.
Yes,
Garland.
he has. Ekman Larson on D with Chikrin.
Chitrin?
Good looking team.
I haven't heard Ekman Larson's name mentioned once.
Barry struggles. I think they continue.
I think
I don't
Tyson
like- I
Barry
don't like
ends
him
the
and
year
Muzzin.
as one of the worst defensemen in the league. Points-wise, plus-minus. I think he's having such a bad year, and there's no chance of him getting better at all.
This year, he leads the league in turnovers per ice time.
And somehow he does that on a team with Jake Muzzin.
And somehow keeps getting played.
Well, what are you gonna call up Igor
you're
Ozhiganov?
gonna limit his minutes so he's not playing 23 minutes
Do
a
you
game.
want to come back to the Leafs? Oh, he's probably having fun in the KHL. Probably on a winning team in the KHL.
Having more fun than Zaitsev.
Or Zaitsev, yeah. Or Hainsey.
Hainsey. More goals than Tyson Barry as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
Insane. So, coming out of Flames camp today, Tyson Barry... So, coming out of
TJ
Flames...
Brody
So
had a
co-
seizure.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Convulsions on the ice. But most recent news, he's been released from hospital.
Oh, good to
So-
hear. He probably had that seizure after watching his defense buckle against Dallas yesterday.
Probably.
I saw Dowling score that goal, and he just, in his own mind, couldn't handle it.
I think Pavelski also got a marker last night. First in a
He
while.
had two.
That's right.
He had two. Anyways, yeah, it's good to hear Brody's out of the hospital. I haven't heard his name in a while. He used to be good. Not good
he was
anymore.
an all-star. Him and
how many
Giordano
years
were
ago?
the face of the Flames, and now they're
defenseman.
stuck in the Pacific out of the playoffs.
Calgary's not in the playoffs.
They're out of the playoff picture.
Oh. Are any Canadian teams in the playoffs? How are the Jets doing? I have no idea about the Jets.
The Jets are not doing too well. Habs are in the playoffs. Let's see who else. I think Canucks are in a playoff spot right now in the Pacific.
For now, I
Oilers
guess.
first in the Pacific.
Are they still first?
They're first.
Over
By-
under 1 month. They're in the playoff. They're still in a playoff spot. Over under
Under.
1 month.
Under 1 month.
Under 1 month. I'll give it
Under.
like 2 weeks.
I was gonna say 2.5 weeks.
Well, I said 2 weeks before you. You hear about that Colorado goalie? That's an interesting story. So, Frank Hoos,
Yeah.
goes out, plays 1 minute, like the first play of the game, gets run over by whoever, is taken out of the game, concussion protocol and all that, and he's still going through concussion protocol. And Adam Werner, making his NHL debut, comes in, faces like 40 shots, gets a shutout,
I saw that.
and the Avalanche
Crazy.
win.
Crazy.
It's crazy when a young backup goaltender, what they can do to a team. Anyways, this guy hasn't played a minute in his
If
NHL
anything,
life.
that's just a shot of
40
confidence to
shots.
the big guys.
Was that against, I don't know what team that was against, Nashville maybe? Something like that? Anyways, that was insane.
Yeah,
He's-
that's just a shot of confidence for the big guys to
Who's-
know they
who
can
are
go out behind a.
Is it Grubauer
Young
who's the
stud.
starting goalie on
It
the
is.
Avalanche?
He's out right now,
Grubauer's
though, with an
injured. Now
injury.
Frank Hughes might be injured.
Along with 2/3 of the second best line in hockey.
I am butchering Pavel Francouz's name so much. I have no idea how to pronounce it, but I can pronounce Adam Werner. Anyways, hopefully he keeps doing well. Colorado, there's an interesting team.
That
No
is an
Mikko
interesting
Rantanen.
story.
No Are they still winning? I have no idea.
They are. No Rantanen, no Landeskog.
Considering we're doing a sports podcast, I suppose I should be watching a little bit of hockey.
No McKinnon for a few weeks.
Oh, I forgot about
He's
McKinnon.
back now.
Oh, he is?
4-point night
Oh,
to
no
back
shit.
Warner. And Avalanche on a good roll right now.
Kadri's doing well, eh?
He is. Not with his Don Cherry views, but he's doing well on the ice.
I don't even really want to talk about that whole Don Cherry thing. It's so garbage. The entire thing is so garbage. So many people are talking about it. I just don't want to talk about it. NFL? You want to talk NFL? Did we get through all the NHL stuff?
We did.
No, we didn't. Not NHL. Hockey. The Mount Royal guy.
Oh gosh.
This is
Yeah.
a great story.
That is a great
well,
story.
sorry, it's not a great story because it's awful and it's a terrible thing to do. So, long story short, in 2018, Mount Royal University, I don't know where that is, but they had a guy who was on the varsity team for 3 years. Now he's 28, I think, so he's out of university. But when he was there, he was on the varsity hockey team, or men's hockey team. And just last year, he was arrested because he was tripping on shrooms in the middle of the night. He got completely naked, broke into someone's house with a knife, and tried to attack this 68-year-old or 64-year-old woman. And if that isn't crazy enough, she ended up turned out she was a prof at Mount Royal University. And it was completely coincidental.
Now, if that's a hell of a problem to deal with in the morning, I don't know what is.
What happened in the middle of the night? She ran over to her neighbor's house and started pounding on the door, and it all got, I don't want to say it worked out because it didn't work out, but yeah, so the guy's pleading he was just too intoxicated. So instead of getting a major jail sentence for throwing around a knife in some random person's house that he broke into, that's an interesting story, and I have no idea where Mount Royal University is. Sounds
that is
like
a hard email to write the next morning.
That is a hard email to write. I mean, he's 28, though. Well, I saw the news story, and the photo of him was a mugshot of his hockey days. It was like
Took it straight off the
a
database.
glitchy, they probably searched up. Yeah, they couldn't spend time. That's Yahoo for you. Yahoo Sports. The 16th best sports news source in the country. They're really, coming from us, we're really bad too. But, it's fun to watch. Is that everything?
And the
Don't.
Islanders are 10-0-1. Or 9-0-1 in their last 10.
The Islanders are so filthy. They're so good. Anyways, moving on to the NFL. Going into Week 11 next week. So, Thursday Night Football here, kicking off Week 11. Interesting stuff from Week 10, eh?
Some very interesting plays.
What do you want to talk about first? Does it matter?
Nope.
No? How about the Chiefs losing?
That
How
came
about
as
that?
a bit of a surprise. An insane
What was
fourth
it?
quarter comeback from Ryan Tannehill and the Titans.
45, 43, or something like that. I don't remember the score.
It was a very
Tannehill-
high-scoring game.
3 last drive comeback wins in his last 4 starts. How about that? I think that dates back to last year when it was the Miami Miracle. I could be wrong, but
Right?
something like that. He's clutch. He's also in Tennessee, which is too bad because they're never going to go anywhere, no matter who they get. It's just
That is
like
true.
a curse in Tennessee. And I would know I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. Dolphins, they've won back-to-back games.
Looking for 3 in a row against the Bills in Week 11.
Hopefully.
Coming off a depleted Colts roster win.
Who's the worst quarterback in the league right now?
It's got to be what's his face on the Bengals.
Andy Dalton,
Andy
who
Dalton.
got benched for
Andy Dalton, that's the one.
some new guy that hasn't played an NFL game, and then he gets to start
That's
last
the
year.
one.
I would say Brian Hoyer.
Or Brian Hoyer.
You fill in for Brissett fills in for Luck, who retired. Brissett gets injured. You fill in for Brissett,
And you lose to the
You are the
Dolphins.
equivalent of a third string quarterback. Brissett goes on the injured list or whatever, and now your backup is an ex-convict who was in jail. And you looked so bad in that game that next game they might actually start an ex-convict. 3 interceptions to the frickin' Dolphins. Terrible.
Awful. And an above average running back for the Colts, too.
Marlon Mack
Neutralized
sucked.
by the Dolphins.
Worst
Insane.
fantasy running back?
Insane.
I don't know.
First overall pick chances are dwindling, though.
Yeah.
So going 2-14 might not be the brightest moment in Dolphins history.
NFL, boring week in the NFL. Goff is the most overpaid, overrated quarterback.
Brutal week
In
for
the
Goff
NFL.
and Mayfield last week.
He couldn't hit the side of a barn with his throws. He's getting paid like $140 million over the next 4 years, or 114 maybe, something like that, something nuts.
And God, David Johnson on the Cardinals. Christ, 49ers, really good run defense, use him as a pass catcher, ends up with 2 fumbles. Insane. 2 yards,
they have-
2 total yards and 2 fumbles.
The Cardinals stink, but they do have 3 above average running backs, I think.
They do.
When David Johnson doesn't drop the ball, yeah.
Yeah, David Johnson has been an absolute load of shit.
Did you watch any of the Alabama LSU game?
I did. Impressive stuff. Underrated LSU team came out to play. I think they...
Which quarterback do you like more? Tua or Burrow?
I think Tua's a better player, but I like the LSU team build a bit more.
I think Joe goes first. Joe Burrow. They look great. How come
And the
all
running
these
back,
college...
too, on Oklahoma. Hubbard.
Chuba Hubbard? He's not... I don't think he's on Oklahoma, is he?
I think he's on Oklahoma.
Regardless what team he's on, the Edmonton native, Chuba Hubbard, the one Canadian doing anything in college football
Leading
in the
in
US.
rushing yards in
Leading
college
rushing
football
yards.
by 600 plus yards.
Dare I say Heisman favorite.
You don't have to dare. He's on the road.
Well, I hope he wins regardless. I don't even remember the last time there was a good Canadian college football
been
player
years.
in the U.S. I
Years.
couldn't even tell you the last one before
I
that.
couldn't tell you the last one either.
Anyways, Chuba Hubbard, whatever team he's on, I don't believe that he's on Alabama, but if you say
I
he
said
is...
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
He's on
I don't know.
Oklahoma
I don't
State.
know. I guess I should know because he's Canadian. Anyways, that was a good game. The Bills lost.
They did.
Getting back
they
to the
did.
point that I didn't get to say before, I don't know why some of these college teams look like they could come out and kick ass against like an NFL team. I 100% believe Alabama would kick the hell out of Cincinnati or Miami or like even Jameis Winston's god-awful Buccaneers who won't admit that they're god-awful. They keep sticking with them for no reason.
Sticking with O.J. Howard.
I'm fairly certain he has more interceptions than touchdowns this year, although I don't actually know if that's true. But it seems
It'll be
like
close. It'll be close.
They just released their corner, one of their, like, used to be high draft picks, right? Vernon Hargreaves. And he got picked up by, I want to say, the Texans? Something like that. I don't understand
That's
why.
right. I think that's
How
right.
did he get to the Texans? I
No.
don't follow the waiver wire in the NFL whatsoever. But generally speaking, I think if you're a bad team, why would you not take a chance on a X high draft
worst
pick?
thing you do is
It worked out
send
for-
him back out.
Yeah, you play him a couple games, you maybe lose a couple games, and you send him on his way again. Like
And
Miami
chances are
did
you
that
aren't
with Taco
losing solely
Charlton.
because of that guy.
Yeah, Taco Charlton turned out to be great. And that was the guy that did work out. They signed, I forget who else, but it was an ex-Arizona Cardinal first-round offensive lineman, and he stunk, and they sent him on his way. While actually winning a couple games. But it's like, I don't know why you wouldn't take a chance, especially when you have someone like Eric Rowe on your team, who they've moved to
Especially as
safety,
a
and
bad
he's
team,
still...
you lose two
just as
games.
bad.
You're losing those 2 games whether you have them or not.
Yeah,
so.
Vernon Hargreaves is not going to win or lose you a football game this year, but he's 24, he's a cornerback. There's a lot of bad cornerbacks in the league. I mean, somebody might say, well, he's one of them. The 49ers lost.
They did. Russell Wilson looking sharp. At this point in the year, if it came down to MVP, who do you got? Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, or Christian McCaffrey?
I don't think McCaffrey would make the top 3, but I would lean that way. Or Aaron Rodgers.
I would as well. I think it's been a while since a running back's won MVP, and
Watson
if
could be in that
McCaffrey keeps up his
conversation.
numbers, If McCaffrey keeps up his numbers, I think he should have a legit shot.
I think I would pick Watson to win it. Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson. He's had a bunch of good. He's had a really good season.
Similar traits as Lamar Jackson. Mobile,
Yeah.
offensive quarterback.
That was a great football game. 49ers.
And
Chase McLaughlin. What a name.
Yeah, come back in the
I feel
fourth.
bad for the kid too. Out of the two, like the game tying field goal was probably more stressful than the game winning field goal because it was the same distance and he made the first one. That second one was the worst kick, one of the worst kicks I've ever seen in this season. And I've watched Adam Vinatieri kick, and he's terrible. So anyways, that was a good game. It was unfortunate that they lost. I think Seattle's a joke. I think they're in, what are they, 8-2 now? I think that's a joke, 8-2. I don't care who they played. I think you can't say take away Russell Wilson because he's on the team for a reason. I think Russell Wilson is the sole reason that they're winning these.
Oh, Tyler Lockett's been pretty good. Chris Carson's been all right, but Russell Wilson's really stolen the show.
If you take any other quarterback in the league, if you take Tom Brady and put him on Seattle, they're not 8-2.
Yeah,
I think they are much worse.
5-4 team.
5-4, 5-5 because they've played 10 games, but something like that. And that's, I think,
highlighting Week 11 matchup. Actually, we have Lamar Jackson versus Deshaun Watson.
Oh, is that a matchup?
That is a matchup.
Oh.
Ravens and
Didn't
Texans
make
Sunday
my
at
list
1.
because Lamar Jackson is not very good.
Now,
as opposed to what many people
That is a very unpopular opinion,
Well,
which I myself disagree with.
if you are a quarterback and you take the snap and you run the ball half the time, yeah, you're going to do well. If you're young and have legs and mobility.
And he does, so you might as well
yes.
take advantage of that.
It's also the Baltimore Ravens, and I hate the Baltimore Ravens. They screwed over, I want to say, Cincinnati a couple years ago in a last week when they were like wanting to make the playoffs. It was a close. I forget that. I think it was the Ravens who ended up screwing them over. It might not. I don't know. They screwed somebody over in it, and it irritated me. And Lamar Jackson's taking all my hate from me because who was their old quarterback? Was that Joe Flacco?
Joe Flacco.
That's who it was. Who's now got injured, hurt his neck or something, and is on the IR or whatever for Denver.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hated that team so much. So this has been a great first episode, hasn't it? What a what a terrible way to start a podcast.
And what a great way for the Raptors to start their West Coast road swing
Here we go.
with
Him and his
win over
fetish.
the Lakers. Big performances put up by Van Vliet, Siakam, and great job neutralizing LeBron and Anthony Davis. Next day, facing the Clippers.
I want to just say, Alex Caruso has the best hairline in the NBA.
And the best fan base. Nothing better than having LeBron on your side. Nothing
What's he, a
better.
point guard? I don't know what he is, a backup point guard. He's my favorite player in the league by far.
Backup point guard. Backs up Rondo.
He's like 26 and he's balding or something, 28.
Oh, yeah.
That's
and
great.
He's been balding since he was in college.
I don't know anything about that, but he can dunk too. He looks like a washed up accountant.
Yeah, I
And
think
somehow he dunks on like all these athletic.
he walked around Anunoby on the baseline
Yeah.
and threw it down.
I don't know. I didn't watch
Crazy.
much. I can't speak. Much of that game.
And pretty good showing, too, against the Clippers on Saturday. Just neutralizing Kawhi, neutralizing LeBron, neutralizing top players. 24% field goal percentage for superstars that week. And Raptors lose by 10. Next day facing Trailblazers.
Did they get a day off or did they?
No, they got a day off. One day off. Back-to-back Lakers, Clippers. 1 day off. Trailblazers.
It's a fun Western road trip.
Yeah. Still clamped Lillard for 9 points.
I wonder if they got
14% shooting from the field.
I wonder if they
And
got
a
like
Raptors
a
absolute trouncing.
full-on green light after their second game. Who did they play the second? They played the Lakers and then they played
Clippers.
the Clippers. You're in LA
Clippers.
and you just played back-to-back games and you have a day off. Does the coaching staff say full on green light, do whatever you want in the evening, go to wherever you want, it's LA. It's like, is that their only LA road trip? Like 3 games and 4 nights?
That's their one West Coast road. They play the Western Conference teams twice, so
Just
Clippers
have the
and
whole
Lakers coming
team
home.
go to a
Trip
club.
up to Hollywood.
Trip
and then
up
a
to
trip
Hollywood.
to a club.
I want to see Nick Nurse in a club once in my life. I can see everyone on the team, and I can't see Matt Thomas in a club, but I'm sure I love Matt Thomas, but I can't see him in a club. Anyways,
I can see Van Vliet. I can see Van Vliet hitting up the clubs. Fred Van Vliet seems like a clubber.
I can see like half the team going to like 11:30 at night, like a paradise club on the water, and you know exactly what I mean.
And come out
at 2 a.m., hop on a team flight, have a little bit of fun on the flight, like Dion Waiters.
Dion Waiters, what a story! 12 edibles before his flight.
11, get
11
it right.
edibles
Falls asleep, wakes up, has a seizure, suspended 10 games by the Miami Heat. And I think it was a 3.5-hour flight or a 4-hour flight or something. Why do you need 11 edibles for that?
I find it crazy. Guys like Ayton suspended 25 games for drugs that make you need a piss, and you could take 22 edibles for less than the price.
Well, I think
of suspension.
Ayton. I think that's like a legitimate health concern once you get to 22.
Yeah.
But I guess TJ Brody seized out on no edibles. So what do I know?
I think 11's pushing it.
I think like 3 is pushing it for a 4-hour flight. I think kick back and watch a movie or something. I don't know.
Well, he made his own movie.
You know what? I'm no genius. What do I know? I'm not in the NBA. Was he even a starter on that team? I know nothing about Dion.
He came off the bench.
He came off the bench. Big loss. What a loss.
What a loss.
And he gets it like he's out for 10 games. He gets like a mini vacation.
Except no pay.
No pay, but you're in the NBA, you're getting paid enough.
He's got enough to support his edibles.
I wonder how many edibles he's taking on those 10 games off, eh? He's having some fun down in Miami. Or maybe he travels with the team, I don't know.
Imminent return for Paul George. Coming off a huge offseason for the Clippers, signing Kawhi and PG.
Pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool. When you get Paul George, oh man, that guy's nuts.
That whole interview, crazy.
I love it, but the guy's nuts.
Crazy.
Pretty cool. That's how. I wonder. Every time I hear that, I see Kawhi Leonard like awkwardly smiling in the corner there, and obviously he's like
Paul George is feeling the whole thing.
He's happy to be there.
Leonard's
Paul George, and then this nut job comes out and he starts yelling about how cool it is. Like Masai Ujiri wouldn't do that.
Masai Ujiri wouldn't get 2 superstars to come to Canada like that.
Pretty cool. That's going to be a running theme on this podcast.
Tomorrow against the Pelicans. He's going to have reduced minutes for the first few games, but I don't know. Are you more excited to see Kawhi and PG on the offensive side or the defensive side?
Neither. I don't follow basketball like I should. 10 points from last for Paul George.
Bold.
First game.
Bold. That is bold.
Is it bold?
That is bold.
If you say so. Are we calling it quits on the first podcast after that? Thank you for listening to this garbage. I don't know why you would listen to this, but if you do, congratulations. We should probably be paying you. And hey, if we decide to do this again, I guess we'll be back next week at some point. See you then.